Hi everybody, my name is Jerry and this is the second weekly chat on Photo Africa. Yes, it is Friday, small change from last time. I ran this on Monday last time with the idea beginning of a new week and the whole thing. However, thinking now for two reasons. Number one, I record on a Thursday, which is normally a little bit of an off day for me, to bump it all the way forward to Monday, long time to wait. So I get lost in between. What do I post, what am I talking about, and so on. So from now on, I'm going to run this on the Friday, which will hopefully, if you head out into the wild, maybe give you some tips, ideas, inspiration, hopefully. And we'll see how it goes from there. If this is your first time catching this video blog, welcome. Short version is that there's a lot of text out there on wildlife photography, there's a lot of images. I thought that it would be a nice idea to bring in a bit of talk, personality, and yeah, maybe get to know each other. In time we'll do some interviews and so on. For more on this chat, go to the first one. If you link onto photoafrica.com, check out the first weekly chat and you'll find a little bit more there. For those of you who have joining me again, thank you so much. The feedback has been great. It's nice to know that people out there actually watch, and even better to hear from you. So thank you for that. This week I was originally going to plan on reviewing a book, Shem Compien's latest book. However, left it at home. Yes, work on that next time. I am in Johannesburg right now, away from Madikwe for about 2.5 weeks. So the little bit of noise you hear in the background is probably traffic coming through, different to the sounds of the African bush, but hey, we'll deal with it from there. Where should we start? Sure, these last 2 weeks have been fantastic for wildlife photography in Madikwe. There's this funny time between summer and winter where you get a lot of water everywhere, yet the light in the morning just turns this golden color because the sun stays lower for longer. Phenomenal. And on top of that, we also had some mist in the area, which is great. I'm sure if you've been following the blog or you've been with me on Facebook, you would have seen a lot of the misty lion shots. I've been posting quite a few, more to come though. Gavin and Grant from Taningi Game Lodge, they've also posted quite a few. I will add those links. All the links I mentioned in the blog, again, will be underneath on the Photo Africa page. So, a lot of misty lion shots. In one of the sightings, and this is what I want to try and get to, is questions. A lot of the sightings we sit in, and whether it's people on other vehicles or on my vehicle, and you get the lion walking through the mist, the light is beautiful, and yeah, you just get shutters going off for crazy. I mean, it's like World War III's broken off, just shutters going everywhere. Then when things start slowing down, you'll turn around and ask a photographer, what are you looking for? And they look at you as if to say, well, I'm looking for a shot. But what shot are you looking for? And this is, I think, an important thing for you when you head out there, is to ask yourself, what am I looking for? Or what am I looking at? Right. People say, they come up with strange things. I'm looking for a full-face portrait of the animal. I'm looking for an animal in its environment. I'm looking for the light. Then you ask them, well, what light are you looking for? And they don't know. Too often, I think, we get blinded by stereotypes of things we see. We see beautiful leopards in a tree. You see a lion running after something. You've got elephants splashing water. Yet, when you've got your camera in your hand and you're looking at the scene in front of you, what are you looking for? Now, in a lot of my workshops that we present, we speak about visual mass. Visual mass is, in your frame, whatever you're looking at, what draws your attention. Easy one, take any picture that you have in front of you, freeze this frame, whatever the case is. Close your eyes, and when you open your eyes, what is the first thing that you get drawn to? Normally, we're looking at light things in a dark scene, dark things in a very light scene. You're drawn to faces and eyes, whether it's human or an animal. That is where your gaze will ultimately go. So, keeping that in mind, that is what you should look for when you're out sitting in the wild with your camera. It's all very fine and well to look at this beautiful scene, but it is not always that easy to translate that into a good photograph. Close your eyes for a second when you look at that scene. When you open up, what draws your attention first? What is it that makes you want to pick up your camera? And that's what you should go after with the idea of creating that moment, capturing that moment. Often people will look at the scene, they'll fire away for blue blazes. I mean, you've got shutters going everywhere, and then afterwards they think, I'm not happy with any of these shots. My bet is it's because you didn't ask yourself, what am I looking for? What drew my attention initially? It's the visual mass of the scene. You need to know your camera technically, because, for example, if you're going after the beautiful little rim lighting around the lion's mane, something like that, you need to know how to capture that. You need to spot meter off the highlights, underexpose a little bit, and pop that rim lighting out wonderfully. I think too often people go out with preconceived ideas of what they think they're going to get. You get them coming on safari, they want a leopard in a tree, they want a lion yawning, and they want an elephant in the water. Nice, but there's different things that draws your attention. I mean, if I compare just this misty lion scene that I mentioned now earlier, if you go and look on Facebook and then on my site and Suningi as well, you'll see that we all were in the same scene. We spent probably a good 40 minutes photographing these lions on the airstrip. And not one image is the same. It's the same subject, it was the same light, but people see things differently. To improve your photography, you need to decide what you see. What is it that draws you? What makes you pick up that camera, aim at the animal, and click the shutter? Once you answer that, then you're on your way to creating images for you. If you follow blindly follow these stereotypes, you're going to keep on getting images that looks like everybody else's. For me, that's not what it's about. You need to go out there, even if nobody else likes your image, but you like it, that's what it's about. So when you're out this weekend, next week, whatever the case is, before you pick up and start firing away, think for a second, what do you see? What is it that makes that scene attractive to you, and then try and capture that scene. Very important. What I also found interesting the last week is how people get stuck on too close. People get too close. They try and zoom in too much. You're cutting out all of the beautiful scenery around you. Whether it was this misty morning we had where there was literally nothing, which is fantastic because it's so unique, or whether it's just for creating portraits. I think people are scared to step back and take a little away from the zoom and try and incorporate more of the scenery. It's not easy because now there's more things to take in. The same principle still applies where keep it simple. Don't go for too much. Just try and keep it simple. Okay, that's traffic coming past. Alright, so yeah, when you go out, try different lenses. Don't always go for the 3-400s. Try and go out with a wide angle. Challenge yourself just to shoot with a wide angle. Same principles apply. Know your camera, know the compositional rules, and we'll see what goes from there. Right. As a review of sorts, I was hoping, like I said, to do Shem's book, which is a beautiful book, reference-wise for Southern African wildlife photography, but we'll get there next week, if I remember to bring the damn thing along. So what I thought today is to look at a camera bag I've been using now for the last year. I'm sure you all know Andy Biggs, phenomenal photographer, most fantastic guy from the States. He runs workshops, well, safaris coming into South Africa, Botswana, Kenya, South Africa. I had the pleasure of meeting him last year, and we spent a week together photographing in Meduka. Awesome time. Now, what Andy also does on the side, apart from running the workshops, is he runs Gura gear, which this is one of the products that they have on sale. This is called a Kiboko, K-I-B-O-K-O, Kiboko bag from Gura Gear, and must be honest, initially beautiful looking bag, awesome reviews. I thought with me using it every single day, in the car, out the car, open, close, drop, water, dust, whatever the case is, I had my doubts. Didn't need to. This product is phenomenal. Just as a quick one, from the front, very neat little packaging, goes in for carry-on size as well. At the back here, which is nice for when you're moving around, zips up open and you get your 2 slings, so you can turn it into a backpack very easily. You've got all the padding inside, very comfortable. Some of these things break your back off. This one not so much. Awesome product. In the front, if you open, it's got 2 flaps on the side, both open up. Size wise, if we open up here, inside here you can fit, this is a Nikon D300 with a 200-400 Nikon lens. Obviously the lens hood is not out, but fits in very comfortably, right? So for big lenses, always a problem, how many can I take, because you run out of space. Same thing on the other side. If we open up here, a whole lot more size, 1 camera body, and you've got a whole lot more space, either for a third body with a lens, or you can put 2 medium or wide angle lenses in there as well. At the top of each panel, nice 2 zips, lots of stuff. I've always got a whole bunch of stuff, probably I don't need it. In the bag, and on top of each of these butterfly panels, there is another zip in here with compartments, pockets, pens, memory cards. It is fantastic. And then of course, which is always great for Africa, little raincoat built in, which you can just pop over, use that a couple of times. So if you're looking for a bag, very light, easy to use, and it is durable, I can tell you that. I've had mine for a year now, in the car, out the car, nothing wrong with it. The zips are strong, last well, fantastic product. Check them out, it's called guragear.com, I'll have the link under the website. Kiboko bag. Yeah, tell Andy I sent you. Awesome product. What we also did from last week, I had a couple of people email in with a couple of questions and things they would like me to discuss on this video blog, which is weekly, as we know. One of them, from Deb Weston, asked to explain metering in more detail. Right, now metering, as you know, is how the camera determines how to expose the scene you're looking at. The camera gives you certain settings, spot, center weighted and evaluative metering, and then from there you can determine which parts you would like to expose. What I am going to do, because this is quite a long topic, I am going to do a blog post in the next week on Photo Africa looking just at metering. In there I can give you examples, we can look at different images, and I'll have all the graphs and stuff in there to explain. So in the next week, Deb, I'll put that one up for you. The other question also from Deb was Lightroom or Elements. Now, if there are still people out there who do not process your images, I would strongly suggest that you do. It is a part of this whole process that we do. I mean, you taking the effort to get the camera and go out there, take the pictures, you need to complete that digital process. Very, very important. I personally use Lightroom and Photoshop CS5 now. Elements I have not played with too much. I had a look at it, had some clients who we worked with that also had it. As far as I can gather, and from what I've spoken to other people for, Lightroom is at this stage, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it is the market leader in post-processing. Right, market leader, most people use it. Very easy to use. The cataloging and what's the word? The searchability of your images is phenomenal. The developing module, once you know it, is so easy to understand. Simple sliders and you got everything. What makes Lightroom for me is it's non-destructive on your images, whether it's RAW or JPEG. You do not destroy that original image. So even if you make a big cock-up of the whole thing, you can still undo and go back. Elements, similar kind of thing. Nice mix of Photoshop and Lightroom, but a lot of people reckon if you shoot RAW files, which I always do, Lightroom is the way to go because of the raw converter built in. Elements, if you shoot JPEG only, Elements is your way to go. So yeah, tough one out there. I will add a couple of Google links under this post as well. Check it out for yourself. My opinion, go with Lightroom. Awesome product, easy to use, very powerful, especially Lightroom 3 now, the noise reduction and sharpening modules. Right, technical detail. What I said from last week as well, just after my camera stopped filming there, is this is unscripted, unedited, so I'm not going to patch and do things. I've just started a new clip, so we'll wrap up. Short version from this post, second weekly chat, yes? Thanks for the feedback. This is going to happen on a Friday from now on. The questions, ask yourself questions before you pull the trigger, push the trigger, click it. And make sure that you think about the shot before. Why did you pick up your camera initially? Very important. Gura gear, fantastic bag. I will have the links up. Tell Andy I sent you. And then yes, Lightroom we like. Elements not bad. If you shoot JPEG, keep Elements. If you do Lightroom, go for RAW. And yes, I will have a blog post up in the week on metering. For now, it's Friday. I'm off for the weekend, bit of R&R with my boys. Rocky and Ziggy's running around here somewhere. So I will see you next week. Check out the blog for the posts. Leave me your comments, suggestions. Always like hearing from you. Have a good one. See you next week.